So Jana Lane, Jana is your True North life coach, and she's going to be talking about designing a life that you love.
Thank you, Tracy. I'm so grateful to be here. And my greatest wish is that you walk away with just one pearl of wisdom, at least, that you can take into your roles as leaders in your lives and communities and businesses. So, I am a transitional life coach, and I do have a unique spin in that I'm also a professional organizer. So I bring a balance between making sure your home physically, the space supports you so that you can go forth and accomplish all the beautiful things in your life that you would love to accomplish in all areas of your life. But for today, we're going to focus on leadership. And I want to talk actually a little bit about self leadership. But before I get to that, I want to share something that happened yesterday. I was in my car on my way to a networking meeting at 7:30 in the morning. That's an important key because it'll make sense in a bit. So at 7:30 in the morning, I'm in my car driving to my meeting. I need to be there at 5 minutes to 8 because it starts at 8. And on my way, I was thinking about material for a video shoot that I'm doing on Sunday. I was thinking of content ideas and what could I talk about to come up with some good content for these little video clips I'm going to use on social media. And what popped into my head, and I chuckled, was for over 50 years, I was not a morning person. You ask me, I would tell you, I am not a morning person. I don't like to get up early. I'm not committing to being anywhere that requires me to be there early. I don't even want to talk to people before my second cup of coffee. The other thing I used to tell myself is I'm always late. No matter where I go, I'm 5 to 10 minutes late. People just know that about me. They expect that. My husband and I would show up at social events with our friends, even just going to their home for dinner. First words, sorry, we're late. Well, we knew you'd be late, right? You're the Lanes, you're always late. That was me a little over 7 years ago. I was not a morning person. I was always late. That's because I told myself lies. And lies are limiting ideas entertained. And you entertain them long enough, they become your BS, which is your belief system. Let me tell you, 50 years of telling myself I wasn't a morning person and that I was always late, that's a pretty deep groove in my record. It was on replay constantly until I learned some of the tools I'm going to share with you today. And I'm hoping you can use these tools to help you in any way get rid of some of the lies and BS that you're holding on to. So about 7 years ago, I met and hired Lauren Brolier Newton as my life coach. I didn't know what I needed from her. I went to her kind of for personal coaching and I didn't know what it was going to look like. It was very scary. I'm not somebody who wants to talk about my stuff, and it's way easier to kind of push it down and pretend that everything is good. So I worked with her off and on for a couple of years. And then I ended up enrolling in one of her programs for business coaching that came with life coaching as well. So I've been embedded in this information that I'm sharing with you and now certified to teach you for over 7 years. I've been studying and practicing these materials. Today, I'll give you what I can with the time we have. So the first thing I want to talk about is what we call the 3 T's. These are 3 T's to transformation. T number 1 is tune in. To tune in, what that means is turn off your phone, silence it, mute it, maybe. For me, that doesn't work because if it's within arm's length, I'm going to touch it. Sometimes I find it in my hand and I don't even remember when I picked it up or why I picked it up. They're really sticky. I often leave mine in another room. So I invite you, and I don't mean just right now for me, for today. I'm saying take into your future to try to disconnect. When we enroll in these things, this is a free event, certainly, but many we pay for. Turn it off and give it your attention, which leads me to T number 2, which is turn it up. Turn up the volume, pay attention, be engaged, take notes. You're taking the time and the effort to be here. Give yourself all the juicy goodness that you can get from it. That moment you walk out of the room or you check your phone, that's the nugget that was meant for you, and you might miss it. So I really invite you to take the time to not multitask. Multitasking is one of those other lies and BS we tell ourselves. Sure, we're women and we're better than men at multitasking. And can we multitask? Yes. Doesn't mean that we will serve ourselves best if we do so. So, really, I encourage you in these moments and opportunities that you have selected for yourself by being here today, give it your full attention by turning up the volume. The third T is transformational willingness. Those nuggets that you find in those notes, I hope you're voraciously taking as you listen to all of the speakers. When this is over, you can close that notebook and never look at it again. Or you can be the person who has transformational willingness and is willing to take action. Let's do the do. That's why we're here, taking some sort of a step in the direction of whatever it was that lit you up or really connected with you or resonated you to either today or tomorrow. So 3 T's: tune in, turn up the volume, and transformational willingness. The next thing I want to share with you, 4 tools to creating results. The first tool, which is so key, it's notice what you're noticing. What we give our attention to, we receive. So what you pay attention to, you're going to get. The universe is a powerful thing. And whatever it is you're noticing, you will get more of it. If it's negative thinking, you're going to live in negative thinking. It's those moments where if you've ever decided to buy a certain car in a certain color, all of a sudden, everywhere you look, that car in that color is driving down the road. It's like, where do they all come from? So notice what you're noticing, pay attention to what you're thinking. And then the second tool is honor your longing and discontent. So longing is really an expansion feeling. It sounds negative, but it's an expansion feeling. You're longing for more. You have a desire for something more. So it's expansive. And discontent is a more retractive, contractive feeling. It's not being happy with a certain situation, circumstance, or condition in your life. And the key is, it's just a result of where you're at now. We are all greater than any current circumstance, situation, or condition. And with these tools, we all have the ability to change those if we take the steps available. So if you've noticed what you're noticing, you've noticed what you're paying attention to, and you just make a decision, you decide for honoring your longing and discontent. You've recognized, I long for more of this. I'm discontent with this current situation. The third tool is to take that information and ask yourself, what would I love? For me, I call that my vision. I have a vision. I read it all the time. I update it all the time because I'm growing. So my vision is forever changing. You can call it your list of goals. You can call it your dream sheet. Doesn't matter what name you give it. Take some time to think about what would I love? And I invite you to not think, what do I think is possible? What do I feel like I can afford? What do I think I have enough time for? What do I think is realistic? Put all that aside and really genuinely think, okay, Jana gave me a magic wand, and this is a big world with unlimited possibilities, and I can have anything I want. So think big. What would you really, truly love? And if it's not a little bit scary, if it doesn't feel a little bit out there, then I would encourage you to think a little deeper, because it's probably not really a dream. And that was definitely a place I came from for many years. I would do my business goals, and it was always what I felt was achievable, not what I thought was a little bit unachievable. And that's where we want to live as leaders, right? We want to be on that green growing edge of, yeah, I can do this, but I can do more. I can do so much more, especially with this community of support that we have, right? There's so many amazing women that we know who can help us grow and achieve our goals. I mean, that's why I'm here. The fourth thing is, and I touched on this a little bit already, but now that you have a dream, because I'm going to just imagine for you and manifest that you guys have done this. If you don't have a dream, you've gone home and you've created that dream. Do what you can from where you are with what you have. Just take the step available to you. And the step might be as simple as fill out that dang connection form. Check all the boxes. Meet with all the ladies. Glean all the information you can. And if it's just having the conversations, that's a step. That's a step in the right direction. It's moving you in the direction of your dream. And that one step could lead you to something you're not even aware that you want. And that is me today. Ooh, I'm I'm going to get emotional. When I met Lauren and did the workshop and started studying these brave thinking tools, I was a mortgage advisor. I got to the point where I knew I wanted something more. I didn't know what it was. And I took the step anyway. I hired her, started coaching, dug a little deeper, did some scarier stuff. I launched an organizing business. My heart's racing. I learned that I absolutely loved it and I'm super good at it. And during that process, I noticed what I was noticing. I noticed some more longing and discontent, and I realized that I really loved the transformation my clients were making. And so I thought outside the box and I'm like, okay, I'm an organizer, but that doesn't mean I can't also be a coach. And as Mary Knipple would say, I already am a coach. So I was able to then step into, I want to be a certified life coach. So all the tools that I learned that have transformed my life, I went out and got certified. I spent hundreds of hours and many thousands of dollars getting certified so that I can now take these tools out into the world and hopefully touch and transform as many lives as possible and create the change that I've experienced, because I want to give that gift to other people. So just take the step that's available to you. Don't worry about how am I going to get there or what's it going to look like, because I'll tell you, 7 years ago, I had no clue that I would be here today doing this right now with you. And I'm so grateful that I took that step. And I'm so grateful that I learned the tools to believe in myself and to understand that I'm in control of my life, not my circumstances, not my conditions, and not my current situations. It doesn't mean they're not real, but they don't control me. I control them, just like my calendar. That's another thing I've learned. I control my calendar, dang it. It doesn't control me. I don't always feel that way. And in all of these things, I'm certainly not perfect, always a work in progress. And the limiting ideas that I've entertained for so many years come up all the time, all the time. But I now have the tools to notice what I'm noticing and to change my thinking around those and to show up for the things that I say that I'm going to show up for and to be the person I've chosen to be and to literally walk around in the world as the woman in my vision, not just at the level I'm at today, but walk around in the world as the woman in my future vision. I just want to be that person and feel what it's like to be that person. So the 4 tools: notice what you're noticing, honor your longing and discontent, ask yourself, what would I love? And then do what you can from where you are with what you have. That leads me to the 5 questions that you should ask once you've written that dream board, vision, goal sheet, whatever you decided to name it, whatever feels life-giving for you. The 5 questions you want to ask to find out, is my dream worthy of me? That's a power question. Is my dream worthy of me? If it's not, you might want it just a smidge bigger. I encourage you, again, just to push yourself a little outside your comfort zone. Find that green growing edge where it gets a little scary, a little hairy feeling. That's always the good news. When that fear bubbles up, that's the good news that you're doing something that's pushing you forward. So the 5 questions are, number 1, does it give me life? When I read my vision and sit with my vision, does it feel life-giving and expansive? Is it a life that I really, truly want to live? The second question would be, does it align with my core values? As female entrepreneurs and leaders in your families, communities, and businesses, if you have not yet, I really encourage you to create a list of core values. Think about the things that matter to you. Is it giving back to your community? Is it being the best? For me, one of my core values is being the best auntie possible to my niece, who I love and cherish. And now great auntie to her daughter. Is one of your values being the best partner to your spouse or partner in life? Whatever those values are, when you look at your dream, read your dream, if you sit and just think about your dream, does it serve your core values? Does it align with your core values? Third question to ask about your dream is it going to cause me to grow? Beating a dead horse, I've said it a few times, but if it's not big enough, make it just a little bit bigger. Yeah, just a little. Too big, I don't know, I can't speak for you all, but before I learned about visioning and goal setting for like life coaching, it was always just business planning. And if my plan was too big, it paralyzed me. So I like a little bit bigger. Just dream a little bit bigger, have fun with it. The fourth question to ask is, do I need help from a higher power? And I don't ask that question of your dream to make it uncomfortable. The higher power could be universe, God, or spirit. It could be a mentor, a mastermind group, a community, like the Gather community. It could be a coach, hiring a coach. For me, that was my higher power, was hiring a coach. Through that, I've come to know and better understand God, spirit, and universe. But the coaching was the piece that I really needed. I don't think it matters for any of us what our guiding compass is, what our guiding force is. Just having that. For me, I mean, having that person in my life completely changed me. And it's beautiful to have people actually recognize and say to me, I don't know what's happened, Jana, but you are so different. You just seem so at peace. You seem so happy. Like you're so doing you now. And you sometimes you miss it. So it's really wonderful when my friends or family members acknowledge that. It's kind of cool. And then the fifth question to ask your dream to see if it's worthy of you is, there some good in my dream for others? And for me, that's my favorite, because the two things I knew I wanted when I made the decision to leave my prior career, where I had so much longing and discontent at the time, I knew two things. And that was, one is I wanted to be of service to others, as many people as possible. And two, I wanted to give back more than I'd ever given. Time, talent, treasure, whatever I could give, I just wanted to give. So those are very big founding principles in my businesses, and certainly a huge part of my vision. So the 5 questions to see if your dream is worthy of you is: number 1, does it give me life? Number 2, does it align with my core values? Number 3, will it cause me to grow? Number 4 is, do I need help from a higher power? And number 5, is there some good in my dream for others? So that is my share for today. I would invite people to ask questions or articulate. And one of the things I meant to ask and I didn't do, but I would love all of you bold, beautiful women to step into your leaderness and drop in the chat, would you? What is one of your dreams? Just one of the things that you would love.
Jana, thank you. That was lovely. You went through a lot of points and they're all super valid. So I love that whole talk. Thank you so much.